Good morning, meteorologist Jeff Gerber. This is our new time that we're going to be streaming to you every day, anywhere from 11:30 to about 11:45, and we'll be giving you the latest weather information, kind of going through all the weather information slowly so you can see it instead of like a typical weathercast you see during one of our newscasts where we only have about 3 minutes to give you the weather. This will give you a good 10-15 minutes to look at different things, what's going on with the weather. Give us a little bit more time to explain what's going on with the weather as well and give you a good idea what you can expect over the next 7 days or so. All right, let's take a look at what's going on for the rest of today, and we're expecting maybe a couple of showers. Not much out there, 20, maybe 30% of a couple of showers popping up during the heat of the day as we get up into the lower 90s. It's going to be hot and humid this afternoon. And we, like I said, could see a little bit of a downpour here or there, maybe even a few claps of thunder with maybe an isolated thunderstorm, but it shouldn't be too widespread. Most folks probably won't even see any rain today. So just realize that the rain chances are coming down after today. We have, it looks like, about 3 days without any rain at all. So finally starting to dry out a little bit after all the rain we had last week, and geez, all the rain we had yesterday, as we had some places pick up a couple inches of rain fairly quickly yesterday. Anyway, lower 90s this afternoon. We'll back off into the 80s this evening, and then overnight we're expecting to see lows back down into the 70s. So it's going to be a little bit cooler as we wake up on Tuesday morning. Allergy report, not much out there. Tree 0, weed 0, grass is only at 2. It's on the low side, and then mold at medium. So these numbers are down a little bit from last week. If we can just get mold down on the low side or close to 0, that would be a good thing. But if you're suffering from allergies, not too bad out there for you. You might still be sniffling a little bit. Want to show you what's going on over in Orange. First of all, I didn't know this was happening, but now that we bring up the camera, I can see traffic's bumper to bumper over there in Orange. They must be doing something with the construction over there. So if you're heading out, maybe you're leaving from Vidor, trying to get over to Louisiana, you might run into a little bit of a slowdown as you head towards the Orange area. It looks like it's backed up. I don't know how long it's going to be backed up for. At least they're moving a little bit, but definitely see some traffic in the Orange area. This is the view from the Horseman's Western Store, of course. We'll take you to downtown Beaumont from Packard LaPrée. Our Roofing 911 Ice Sky Cam there currently showing 90, humidity at 60%, and winds out of the southwest at about 4. What I want to show you is, notice the sky. It's not your typical blue that you see in between some of the clouds. You know, typically we'll see like the puffy white clouds, and then in between we'll see, you know, some really nice blue skies, especially to start your day. We'll have lots of blue skies. Well, this morning it's been kind of a grayish, kind of a milky sky out there, and that's because of the dust particles in the air. Sierra and dust. You've heard about the Sierra and the dust. Well, we're not going to see it in gator country. Matter of fact, looking for any alligators. I don't see any alligators there. Usually they go up in the shade, but we don't have any out there in Finette at Gator Country. But usually we see the blue sky, and today through tomorrow, looks like with these Saharan dust coming in, the sky's going to be kind of milky looking, really not completely sunny, not the crystal blue skies that we typically see in between some of these clouds. Well, we're just going to be seeing a little bit of milky skies. I knew this would come up when I'm trying to show you the skies, and not even seeing a gator in Gator Country. They're around. There's plenty of them. There's over 700 of them out there. And let's see, and then it goes black towards Port Arthur. So yeah, our sky cam's not working out too well for us here right now. Anyway, let's move on. I want to show you that Saharan dust that's coming into the area, and you can see a big area of Saharan dust working into southeast Texas, and that's going to be sticking around, it looks like, through a good portion of this week. And so we'll see these kind of milky skies. At least it'll help also calm things down as far as any active weather out in the Atlantic, through the Gulf, through the Caribbean with that dust there. That really helps kind of prohibit any tropical development. So that's some good news. There is something that the Hurricane Center is watching, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in this stream, but it's over towards Florida. I don't think it's anything we're going to have to worry about. Our radar right now is pretty quiet. We don't really have much going on across southeast Texas. I saw a couple of showers earlier over towards Liberty County. Those have died down. That might be a little bit of a shower right there, that little speck, or that might just be a false return back to the radar. But right now, very quiet. If you're running out to the store or something like that, you don't need the rain gear. And we're hoping that only a couple of showers do pop up during the day. At least that's in our forecast for today. Take a look around the rest of the region. you can see really East Texas is very quiet. You have to go west of Houston before you run into a couple of showers, and those are going due north. So I don't think we'll see too much here today. Heavier rains down towards looks like Brownsville, south of Corpus Christi. You can see some of those heavy showers and thunderstorms working their way up towards Corpus Christi for this morning. Texas Panhandle's been seeing a little bit of rain, not a big deal there. West Texas, some cloud cover, but okay, and looks pretty quiet. Let's zoom it out and take a look around the rest of the country. We'll start off towards the Rocky Mountain states, toward the west coast. Nothing going on there. Typical for summertime. You don't see a whole lot of activity, and it's very quiet out there for today. We've been seeing some showers and thunderstorms, some rain and thunderstorms through parts of the Midwest overnight. They had a big cluster of thunderstorms out towards central Kansas, but they died down as they kind of headed towards Kansas City. Still some thunderstorms, though, through central Missouri for this morning. A lot of activity down into the Gulf. You can see the northeastern corner of the Gulf, showers and thunderstorms, something the Hurricane Center is watching. Like I said, we'll be talking about that. And then East Coast looks pretty dry, not much going on. Maybe a few showers up towards parts of Michigan for this morning. A few showers and thunderstorms up in that direction. Let's take a look at our futurecast. Futurecast showing temperatures climbing up into the lower 90s as we head into this afternoon. Can't rule out a shower or thunderstorm, but they're going to be very few and far between. Not too many out there. Things should die down as we head towards the evening if we do see anything develop, and as we head towards 10 o'clock we'll see temperatures around 80. We'll fall back into the 70s as we go in towards your Tuesday morning. A lot of middle to lower 70s with some partly cloudy skies overhead. Tomorrow I've taken rain out of the forecast, as I mentioned. Our futurecast trying to show a couple of showers maybe to our east or west, but I think we'll be pretty dry here in southeast Texas. If we see anything, it would be less than a 10% coverage, and Futurecast also trying to show about 94, 95 tomorrow. I don't know if we'll get that warm, but we'll get up there. I think the lakes area has a good chance of getting to about maybe 94 tomorrow, and we'll be around 92, maybe 93 here in the Triangle. Add in the humidity, we're talking about heat index over 100. All right, let's take a look at the tropics real quick. We have one cluster of showers and thunderstorms down here towards the northeastern Gulf. Hurricane Center's watching this, but they don't really think it's going to be developing anytime soon. They're only going with about a 20% chance of development as we go through the next 7 days. And you notice they have this probably typically maybe moving towards Florida or out towards the southeastern U.S., out towards the Atlantic. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about this. But if you have travel plans for the southeastern U.S. for maybe the holiday weekend, something to maybe keep an eye on and check with us every once in a while. We'll let you know what's going on. But right now, things look fine. 20% chance of development over the next 7 days is not a big deal. And you might have blinked and missed it, but over the weekend we had Tropical Storm Barry form. It was right off the coast of Mexico and then quickly drifted into Mexico. Didn't stick around for long at all. So like I said, if you weren't watching this weekend, you would have never known Barry even popped up, but it did. This is that same area that the Hurricane Center had a 20% chance of development in for 7 days, and all of a sudden they declare it a tropical storm as it moves into Mexico. I don't know if it should have been a tropical storm, but that's neither here or there. Anyway, Barry did form officially, and it did move into Mexico, and now is gone. We don't have to worry about that. So, matter of fact, that rain we saw down in southern parts of Texas, I was showing you around Brownsville, that's kind of some of the remnants of Barry bringing some moisture into southern Texas. Our coastal marine forecast for today, a south wind at 5 to 10 knots. Seas anywhere from around 2 feet. High tide, we had one earlier this morning. Our next one's at 7:31 for this evening. Our sunset tonight's right around 8:21, and then water temperature there in the middle 80s. Generally right now at Texas Point, conditions showing a little bit of a southeasterly wind at 5, gusting to about 10, so that's not bad at all, and just a light chop on the inland lakes and bays. All right, our forecast for today, partly cloudy. Temperatures anywhere from about 90 to 93, possibly Newton, Jasper, Burkeville, maybe 93 today. Most of the area about 91 or 92. And we'll put that 20 to 30% coverage in there as I was talking about. And winds will be very light out of the south, anywhere between about 3 and 8 miles per hour. Heading into the overnight, no rain expected, partly cloudy, so mostly clear, possibly by tomorrow morning. And we're looking at numbers anywhere from middle 70s here around the Triangle to some lower 70s up towards the lake, so not looking too bad there. As we check our 7-day forecast, we don't see much rain Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. If we'd see anything, like I said, it'd be very isolated, less than 10% coverage, so we're taking it out of the forecast. And we go 93, 94 for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday also 94. Of course, this is 4th of July, Independence Day here on Friday. That 20% should not be anything to worry about. If you have any barbecuing you're doing outside, maybe going to the lake or something like that, I think you'll be fine. Just kind of keep an eye to the sky. You might see a dark cloud and run into a shower here or there. Of course, be careful. There could be an isolated thunderstorm. You want to definitely be aware of that. The lightning's been really bad here the last, or at least yesterday I know it was bad. It was loud. And then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, also looking at about a 20% chance of a few showers here and there. If the kids are going to be out at the pool trying to beat that heat, because look at those numbers, middle 90s for Saturday and Sunday, heat index around 100, 105. Make sure they're staying hydrated too. If you're in the lake, the pool, anything around water, you still need to stay hydrated with water. I know a lot of adults try to hydrate with adult beverages. Probably not a good idea. Best idea is just to stay hydrated with some water and find some AC from time to time. Once again, I'm going to show you the skies I was talking about, how they're not like the blue skies that we typically see in between these cumulus clouds. Of course, it goes right back to Gator Country. I knew that was happening. I knew that was going to happen. Oh my gosh. Anyway, this you can see the I'm sorry, it's just hilarious. You can see where the Sierra Dust is making the skies a little bit milky. They're not quite as clear as they typically should be for this time of year. All right, let's take a look real quick back at radar, and just if you're just joining us, got some errands to do, something like that. Looks fine for right now. I don't think you have any problems. There might be a couple of showers today. Our forecast really not calling for much today, except for maybe a couple of showers, an isolated thunderstorm. That's about it. Looking pretty good in that direction. And then once again, if you're just joining us, here is the 7-day forecast, which just shows really hot and humid weather. Not much in the way of rain, just a 20% for your holiday weekend, and just stay hydrated. Also want to mention this stream is now, we usually have been showing this stream at 10 o'clock every morning. We've changed that now to 11:30. So from 11:30 to 11:45, we'll be doing this stream every day and not doing anything at 10 o'clock. Also, our morning show, Daybreak, if you're a regular watcher of that, you might have noticed this morning we weren't on from 4:30 to 5. We've taken away our 4:30 to 5 broadcast, and we'll start at 5 and go to 7, and then as we get to the 7 to 8 o'clock hour, we're on 12 News Plus, which you can find on a computer, TV, or your phone, and we'll go ahead and stream there from 7 to 8. So you're really going to get 3 hours of news. You're just going to have to switch over to the streaming from 7 to 8. But 5 to 7 is typically what we do. ABC, NBC, you're going to see our regular Daybreak show there, and then from 7 to 8 we'll be streaming on 12 News Plus. Once again, the 4:30 to 5 o'clock show, we're not going to be doing that broadcast anymore. I know some people get up at 4:30 or up at 4:30 and they wait for that, but at this point it looks like we're going ahead and just start at 5 and go through 8. So we'll have 3 hours of news. Hopefully you can catch that. Thanks for watching this stream. We've been getting a lot of good numbers as far as people watching this stream, I guess at work or at home or whatever, that can't typically watch our broadcast every morning.